Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. Love is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. Love is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. When I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish ways. For now, we see only a reflection as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, but then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And now these three alone remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. Okay. Thank you. Namaste. Welcome everyone to Sunday Satsang. Seems like we've started again on Sundays after quite a long break. And so, big welcome to you, all of you, and those who are joining us via broadcasting. So, big welcome. Good. Okay, you can come. Namaste.
I will send a warm love from Supriya, Saga, and Tara.
Okay,
First
good.
of all. And I came up here just to expose something. I feel I've been holding back something. Like last Friday, I was really wanting to raise my hand, but it was like felt like I was a statue, or like the whole body just froze. So there's some resistance felt. I've been following you for 3 years, and I love you and your pointings, but this just is like something wants to break through. I can't do it.
Yeah. To love me and my pointings is good, but not enough, isn't it? It's always, no, it's good. Of course, it must somehow be some intuitive sense that you're in the right place. As far as what is your goal, what is your aim, what would you like?
To give it all up, to just come home.
Mm-hmm. Why you want to give it all up?
Because it's painful.
It's painful. Yeah. If the life that you're experiencing it presently feels painful and heavy, then obviously we want something better than that. We want something, no? And even the best life, as conceived through our minds, a life where you have enough money, you have your own house, you have a nice family, you're living in a nice place, you can have long holidays and a holiday home somewhere. What is it that we want from this world? I mean, okay, you are famous and people, whatever it is. For some beings, it's not enough. Something feels missing. If you don't feel something is missing, it's fine. But in some cases, feel I've done all the things that I was told would be good for me, and which is the mark of success for a human being in life, and still there seems like a big space of discontentment. I'm not happy, in spite of having all the things that people say would make you happy, and I'm not happy. They don't make me happy. They give me a certain amount of freedom and so on. I'm respected by many people, you could say, but still. So for such a one, they may find themselves in a place like this. Then I ask you, what do you want? You say you want to give all the things that are causing you pain, to give it up and to come home. Come home. And the home we are talking about is what? It's not merely a place. The places we have been must be some state of being where you're happy and content and free from the attacks of depression and the fear of death and even the fear of life. Some people have fear of life also. Does there exist such a thing? Does there exist anywhere in the human kingdom such a thing as to be deeply contented, at peace, full of love and understanding, compassion for everyone, who can do it? To be free from attachments and yet still have a heart full of love. Who can do it? Then somehow you may have heard that it's not that you have to make this, you don't have to create it. All your life maybe we have been creating, strategizing, competing, rising and falling. But the most beautiful thing you cannot create, you can only discover. Where is it to be discovered? And you're told, it's in your own self. And people say, but if it's in my own self, then I should be the first to know about it. How comes I don't know? Okay. You said you had something to expose, and that was, again, what? No?
The resistance, felt there's some avoidance, and at the moment it comes up in form of the invitation. Like there's
okay, so let's catch it step by step. You say you want something that is very good. You want to be free, you want to be happy, you want to be free from the psychological attacks and the sort of hypnosis of psychological conditioning. You want to be free of the grip of them. And this is a great aspiration, wouldn't you say? And yet resistance is coming from where? From your neighbor's house? From somewhere in your own self. There's some resistance, some fear is coming, isn't it? And perhaps for the first time, many people are waking up to the fact that there are some forces that are playing within our own personality and being that does not seem to be supporting your desire for freedom. It seems as though some energy is compelling by habit to keep you fixated upon your personal existence only. And any idea of going beyond the familiar, is resistance come. From whom does it come? Who is making this attack? What is making this resistance? Apparently it's not you. So who else is living in this house? So you say that you're aware now this resistance is coming, these kind of attacks are coming. And where are they coming? From somewhere within myself. So they cannot be you if you are aware of them. It makes some sense or not? Because I'm seeing many new faces. Sometimes people come and they say, oh, Muji, there's a lot of new people, it's good. I said, yes, up to a point it's good. But the last satsang, there were a lot of new faces, new other faces. Where are they? Is it every time we have a meeting, there'll be new faces? Where's the old faces? Are they awake? And are they walking Buddhas? And where are they? Maybe the same thing that is putting you off, put them off also. And they become so afraid, like something inside says, no, if you go there, you're going to lose everything. If you go in this direction and follow this, what he's teaching you, see, you may go, you're going into the unknown, and maybe you won't be able to come back. And the one who is familiar with this voice, who seems to have a relationship with this voice, so, oh, yeah, maybe I better wait. Maybe I better wait. Let's have a look and see if anybody is waking up. And then if anybody wake up, I'll kind of just go with them and try and get some of it. So like this, already you're cooperating with a resisting energy inside your own self. And we go there because we feel better the devil I know than the one I don't know. I know my mind is not good about these things, but I don't know what I'll meet if I follow this. But you must be sensing something. You must, even if the mind had the power to really challenge and to scare you and distract your attention, there must be something else there that makes you want to push more deeply, to fight against this resistance and to, what is it? Is there something inside that's on your side? We are going to try and find out. Some people already are familiar with these type of things. For some, it appears to be new. And in this present energy field, which is a mixture of beings who are perhaps new to satsang, and those who have been listening for some time and are more familiar with the pointings, and for them it's not merely some kind of studying, it's not a belief actually, it is a living power within them, that they are growing, expanding in their consciousness. They are feeling much more happy, more light, more open, less afraid. And for others, maybe they're new to all of this, or think they are new to all of this. So in your case, because I have to give some background why it happens, because I sense there's maybe some beings are not so familiar with the topic or the subject that we explore together here. And we're not just here to have a good time, just to see how far you can go in making the greatest step or discovery within your own self. We're not here to study each other, or to study me, or to study Mantesaja. You're here to find out, who really am I who live here in this house? A house made of time and change. Is this what I am? And you say, I find that I want to transcend, I want to give up this resistance in myself. How is it going to happen? Well, I would say the easiest. I prefer to go for the easiest. The mind would like the longest. It wants to buy time, Let's sign up for the 12-year course. But this is a one Sangha course. How are you going to do? So you say you want to get beyond this thing. The reason why why we feel attacked by our mind, challenge and resistance in our mind, is because we have not as yet discovered the full truth about who we are. We are merely living in the present idea you have about yourself. And ideas about ourselves are not ourselves. And so the ideas keep changing. If you're not merely an idea, if you're not merely the idea you have of who you are, then who are you? Because ideas you can perceive. Ideas don't perceive you. It is you who perceive ideas. It is you who are aware of the resistance inside. Whose resistance? If it is not your resistance, whose resistance is it? You can say, is the force of conditioning that I have picked up in my life that makes me feel that I am this, and that primarily it seems a lot of it is based upon the belief that I'm fundamentally my body and my senses, or mind and conditioning. That's what comprises myself. So if that's what you believe is only yourself, then it is always changing. Something is always changing in you. is there not also an ability within you to be aware of the changes as they happen? If there is an intelligence in you that is aware of the changes that are happening in you, is that intelligence also changing? Does it not watch all the changefulness? It is also present even before you speak about resistance coming up. The resistances are perceived from there. The sense of the fears that come, they are perceived in you, by you. So if you know this, then what is it that is identifying with this voice that seems to be commenting in your life, giving advice and directing your steps, which seems to come from your mind? Is this voice truthful? Is it reliable? Can you trust it? Well, you only can answer this question. Is this voice your friend? Is it your own voice? And why should you have to transcend it? Why should you want to transcend it? Because it seems to have a power over you. It seems to have a power to disturb you, to crash your party. It seems to have the power to do that. Then you're asking, please help me to go beyond this limitation. My mind feels stronger than me. So mind, we have a sense of what that means. And the mind is strong, loud. It's constantly telling me, you're not good enough, or you're far too good. Whatever it says somehow. Now something knows it's not reliable, it is not true. If you feel your mind is stronger than you, then who are you? What do you conceive to be yourself? It's okay we talk like this to start like that? Basic things again, you see. So now you ask, I want to transcend the mind. Do you know who you are who want to transcend the mind also? We just assume, who are you? Well, I'm just the present way I feel about myself. I have different times I feel differently about myself. Right now I want to transcend my mind. But maybe in another hour I don't want to do that. I just want to go out and have a drink and enjoy myself. So this desire to overcome my mind, is it really always with you? Or just at times like this? You see? We're getting closer, something. So even the desire which arises in you that says, I'd like to really overcome my mind, that itself is also watched. That the desire comes and sometimes it feels very strong, another time it feels very weak, another time it's not there at all. But you're always here. You must be more here than your desires because you watch them come and go. The one who is always here, who is aware, now I really feel like I want to wake up, or now I don't feel I'm in the mood for all of that anymore. Who watches these thoughts coming and going. That which watches these thoughts coming and going. Is it suffering from thoughts? It even watches the one who says, oh, it's too much for me. I don't know, my mind is strong. It watches even this voice also. And the apparent one who is speaking it. Am I going too fast? Okay. So it's good because if you only understand, you may find that these troubles are only appearing to happen to me because I'm identifying as something I'm not. It seems like our troubles, they are much linked with memory. Because sometimes we have the impression that we have trouble, but in that present moment there's no trouble. But you still remember, yes, I'm supposed to have a trouble. Yes, I have a trouble. Okay, what is it? Hang on, let me see if I can remember. So this is something also. The habit is sometimes to keep on feeling that your feelings are consistent, but they're always changing. How can we use that as a reading of who you are? Suppose you go to a doctor and he says, okay, what's wrong with you? I said, I woke up this morning with a headache. It's really, really strong. I said, doctor said, okay, let me come and examine. Oh no, it's gone. It's now a shoulder ache. Okay, turn around, put the shoulder. No, that was earlier today. Now, actually, it's my stomach that's really hurting. Okay, let's have a look. I can't bend because now my back is hurting. So how is he going to treat you? So what is your problem? In a way, as funny as it seems, we are doing this a lot. You're describing yourself in many different ways and saying, this is what I am. But when you're treated in the way that you say you are, you resist and say, no, that's not it at all, also. If you say, I want to go beyond the influence that my mind has over me, myself, it must come out of something that you're used to. He says, over time, it doesn't go away. It's still just, it plays this time. Every time I have the feeling that I want to go beyond it, then I feel all this resistance come. How can I go beyond this thing? Well, if each time you're looking towards your mind's attitude, memory, feelings, and they seem to be also very changeful, I would say don't spend too much time trying to chase or get hold of something that keeps on changing. Don't waste time. Okay? Rather, pay some attention to that which observes them. That which observes the change, because the change is going on. The movie is going on. It goes from here to there and so on. But the one who is watching it is relatively more quiet, is present. Who is watching the movie and feeling disturbed or attracted to it? Are you aware of this one also? So not just the thing you're reporting about out there, but the one who is reporting or who is affected by the external things. Is that you also? Doesn't that one also come in and out of focus? Can anybody follow what I'm speaking? Can you observe that even this one is coming in and out of focus? So that one is also perceived.
Seems like there's always been this difficulty on observing the observer. Like, it's kind of a mantra that's like...
It's not mantra, it's not a mantra, you see. It's just you're not accustomed to doing that, because for a long time we have lived with a certain idea that has been shaped in our minds about who we are, and it's not been challenged. And so always, it's like a reflex, that's the place you go to for your reference of who you are. And now, as you are being introduced to the possibility, a power in you to begin to observe more than just go with the reaction to identify, is working or not, that as you observe, You're seeing, wait a second, relative to the things I'm seeing, the observing place is quite still. Have you come to that seeing?
At times, but it's like it's get drawn into the.
At times, but then what happens?
At times it is seen, but it gets drawn into the motion picture. It's like.
So at times, please listen, at times it itself gets pulled into the motion picture it's watching. You hear this? Isn't that also seen? Isn't that also seen? The sense of the one now I'm observing and observing. But if you're observing with interest, you see, then you're identified with what you see, and naturally you'll get sucked into it. Something, the position you're calling you will get sucked into what you are seeing, isn't it? Isn't that also perceived? Can I ask like that? Would that not also be perceived? Or is the pull to go into the noise of what you're seeing so strong that you forget that you have the power to observe that consciously? This very thing that I am pointing to right now, in different places in the world, this pointer is being introduced also in prisons, in some prisons. And people who have spent a large part of their life finding themselves in trouble and cannot control their emotions and doing many things hurtful to other beings, are waking up to this power in them. That they have more power to begin to observe, where in the past they would just react and go with that reaction. They are now becoming more increasingly aware of that space within them from where they can just look. And they're advised, look with detachment. You see? And gradually, with a little practice, wow, you are discovering that, wait, rather than registering what you see as what is happening, why not look at the one who sees? And if the one who is seeing in front of himself is also perceivable, then that which perceives that perceiver also, just be aware of this. What is it that's perceiving even that previous seer? To even say, but after a while it gets pulled into its own movie. I said, but isn't that also seen? And then you may agree and say, yes, that is also seen. Then at the place where that is also seen, what is the environment like? Who is the seer there? These are questions for right now. These are questions for right now, not giving homework. Just now, if you can look. Are you not here also? At the place where to even report that at times when I'm observing, I get so caught up in my movie that I feel also pulled into the movie. Then I say, but wait a second, but is that not also perceived in your being? And you say what?
Right now there's not anything.
Say, right now what's happening?
Right now there's like...
Your mind's gone blank? Mind's gone blank. That is also seen. If mind goes into... but that is also seen. All the layers, she say, is being exposed. And everything is happening in front of some power to observe these things. Are you lost? Have I gone too far? Stay with it then. So Then you say at some point, perhaps at a point which is coming too close, something goes, I said, but isn't that also sin? And what now? Are you in the or something? Yeah, but that's also sin. It cannot be what I am. It is just an image being perceived also. Maybe a sensation, an emotion, a reaction, a feeling being perceived also. Stay in the place of the perceiving. Don't project into the object of perception. Stay as the subject of the perceiving. And what happened? What is happening to the one who sees? You still in shock? Can shock capture you? In the light of what I'm sharing. Big shock. Is that not also seen? Is it not also just a sensation, a momentary? Well, it looks like not moment, it's moving into minutes now, isn't it? But supposing you feel like, can't think, but you can see, you can't think also. Just be in the awareness alone. Just be in the place of just the awareness. Don't be somebody being aware. There's just the awareness itself. See, once you get it, you're going to be the happiest person in the world. But on the way to being clear about it, all the resistance is, no, I can't get, all your negative voices are coming up that you have associated with yourself, but which are not true, are being exposed. You say you came to expose something, and now everything is being exposed. In front of what is it being exposed? Does that one, ultimately, have any secrets? Is it a person? Isn't the person also perceived? Or the sense of the person's history, the person's personality and temperament and habits, the person's feelings, isn't it also all just seen, perceived? Are they stable, the things that you're looking at? No. Don't waste time trying to pursue the transient. Everything that you perceive come and go. They're like clouds floating in the infinite sky. You are like the sky, not merely cloud. Come on, fight me then. Come on, if something wants to fight, speak it out. I'm here for this, you know.
It feels like it's just like you say, it's like the body goes into some kind of tightness.
So what? So what? Sometimes you might wake up in the morning and you cannot move. And the more you try to fight, the more stiff you become. And you're alone. You ask for help. Something just relaxes. Allow it to be expressed. And when the resistance drops, the thing also drops. It's another opportunity to reveal something in you that you're not yet familiar with. There's no need to fight. Pay attention to where you truly are. And where are you truly? It's not in the noise, it's not in the traffic of sensations and emotion and thought. They are the clouds passing, endlessly passing, broken only by sleep. It seems as though as soon as the waking state appears, our mind goes into some gear. Are you being dragged through the waking state? Can't catch up with the amount of things the waking state is saying you should do or become? Or can you experience your waking state consciousness in total serenity and peace and joy? And yes, enjoy it also. Are you being beaten up by your own waking consciousness?
It feels like it.
Even right now.
Not right now. But
What is right now? Right now. Is it an instance of time or timeless? What is right now? If you don't associate this instant, this moment, with memory or past or future or intention, which are not stable, if you don't combine this instant with anything, what is now then? Don't think. Thinking is already late. What is now? Activity is now and then, here and gone. What is now? She say truth is now. What is truth? If we say even truth, some people say, but what is truth? That which does not come and go, which is always consistently what it is. It is not a reading, it's not a temperature, it's not a transformation. Maybe the best we can do for now is to call it pure awareness, impersonal. You may even call it the medium through which perception can happen. Knowingness can manifest. Even if whatever your feelings are, if you don't give too much meaning and importance to that, they are not a definition of what you are. It's only a traffic passing. You are aware of the traffic of emotions or thought or sensation. You are what? Do you have trouble? When you drop everything, don't associate with anything at all. Not even with awareness. Drop everything then. If anything that you're containing and holding, you could drop, if you could drop, would there not be something that cannot be dropped? Yes. Something dropped again over there. If everything can drop, if everything can drop away, if everything can be taken out, everything taken out. Until there's nothing more to take out. Do you have to think about an answer? Are you not the answer? Can you take you out? You can take even the ideas you have about yourself out, your memory of yourself out, your relatives out, imagination out. If you took everything out, and if I say, is everything out? You may say yes. So who is the one who say yes? Can this one be taken out? It's not just a riddle, it's a very, very practical question. In fact, it's answering your question. You say, I want to go beyond the psychological mind and its grip. How much further we have to go?
I don't know. It's definitely very, very still right now.
Yeah. It's
But
very, very still right now.
It's been here before.
You're very, very still right now. Are you being still? Have you achieved stillness? Or there is just stillness?
It's just here. I haven't really done anything.
Huh?
I haven't really done anything.
You haven't really done anything. Let's say that even stillness is also perceived, isn't it? What makes it possible that even stillness is perceived? By what is it perceived?
By me.
And you being what?
That.
That being what?
I don't know.
It's fine, you don't know. Does it mean you're not?
No.
Suppose you don't have to know. You only know that you're that, whatever that is. Maybe it's the mind that is saying, but if you don't know, then nothing has happened, then nothing has been attained. I say this because many people experience what they believe is trouble because they think they need to know. I need to know what I am. Like what? You mean conceptually? How are you going to know? Don't you intuitively know that you are, that you exist? And that you are not anything that you can perceive? Do we know this? Yes. Even new people can know this or not? Yes. So-called new people. No? That even you are aware also, no? But perhaps from the mind comes, well, that's not enough, that's not it. And that is believed because that is a habit to doubt. Do you need to believe in yourself in order to exist? No. Supposing that whatever you can perceive, whether it is a thought or a sensation, or some sense of time or some shape or something, can any of these things that you perceive be fundamentally what you are as the perceiver? Can anyone take this one? That which you perceive in perhaps unending stream of appearances, coming and going, they are all perceived. Some of them seem to make a deeper impression in consciousness than others. Others perhaps they don't even register that they appeared. Does any of that describe or can convey what it is that is perceiving them? that which is perceiving everything else. Can I take one more step?
Yes.
Supposing everything that is perceivable from all your life that you've been perceiving, all your life you're perceiving, from the same place of perception, but thinking it was that you're the person perceiving. Because I once asked someone, who is it that's looking out from behind those eyes? Who is looking out? And he said, conditioning is looking out. I said, very good. Conditioning is looking out. And what sees conditioning looking out? What perceives that conditioning is looking? He says, there's no name for this one. Can you verify? That which even perceives silence. That perceives movement and stillness. That perceives emptiness and the sense of fullness. Does it have a shape?
No.
That which perceives both the sense of inside and outside simultaneously, where is its location? Feel before you speak. If there is a certain point from where all things are perceived, from this ultimate seer, can that seer be also seen?
Only by itself.
You sure you're not quoting things that you have read? You are to verify it experientially right now. As I ask the question, you can look. Who is looking? Suppose the ultimate seer is seen, then it must be seen by something more ultimate than that one. You can only be, you cannot see it. Is it other than you? Is yourself an object appearing in front of the lens of perception, or are you behind the lens of perception? Or both? Or neither? Does it sound too mental an inquiry that we are making? Because for me it is really like looking into a mirror and seeing a reflection of your true face. But ultimately, are you an object? Are you form or formless? That which looks. Can that which sees be other than you? Does it have a personality? Are you confused? But even if there were a sense of confusion, would that not also be perceived? What is the religion of the one who sees? What nationality? Are you still stunned? You can have a sensation of being stunned into silence and be quite okay with it. Yeah, there is something, my body-mind is stunned at the moment, but I'm aware of it, it's okay, don't worry about it. Or do we need to call a psychotherapist for you? Okay, maybe you better go and sit down for a little bit. Yeah? Okay. Okay. Let's see what happened. It's one of you, I don't know who. Maybe you come first? You? You're there? Yeah. By this line of contemplation, as we are exploring together, do you have the sensation that you are full or empty? Neither? Both? What?
Neither and both.
You see, I understand that. You see, that resonates. That's okay. Okay, please.
Namaste, Miji.
Namaste. Yeah.
I have a problem relating to the invitation.
Okay.
I've done a few retreats with the West Cork Sangha, and I was at Zimar.
Yes.
And every time through the initiation, the invitation,
Yes.
I just plummet out of waking consciousness.
You what?
I don't like the word falling asleep, but I am completely out of it.
Yes.
And the only time I've managed to get through was with the help a couple of nights ago with someone with their iPhone going with the invitation.
Yes.
And even then, with them looking at me all the time,
Yes.
and me conscious of
Yes.
engaging my full will,
Yes.
I'd go.
You go mean you left. What means?
I wake up after I'm nudged.
Okay.
And I have a feeling it might relate to a trauma in my birth, in that I'm a twin survivor,
Yeah.
and Adrian didn't survive being born. And one of the aspects of the twin survivor through their life is feeling that they should be alive at all, or they don't deserve a life.
Yes.
And I've worked a little bit with it,
Yes.
and I know from the work I have done it is a factor, and then I forget about it, and
Yeah.
I haven't done any work in that respect for a long time.
Okay.
But with the initiation, it is something that I want to remain conscious with. And well, even with the last Sangha, someone came up to me and said, "You knew you were asleep for 2 hours or so," and I wasn't even conscious of being out that long.
Yes. Your mind is making sure you don't get it. It's something, some behavior happens or so. I don't have to say, because I don't want to give it a fixed reason, as though that reason is justified. That, sorry mate, you were the surviving twin. It's going to be very difficult for you. I don't want to say this at all. All things are fine. All things are fine. What happens is not uncommon. In some cases, it is like a kind of reflex that come from that strong fear, perhaps of that, if you go through, you may vanish, or you may come to, you may cease to exist or something. So something is just shuts out of it. So I don't want to have that experience. It can be this also. But whatever it is, it actually, the important thing is that you don't take that to be anything. Because if you take that to be something, you are justifying a reason why you should not go through. You see, and this is just coming from the mind. It is not coming from the being, the true being. You see, because even the sense of waking up is a kind of dream, actually. Because that which you're waking up to, when that is clear for you, that was never deluded. The sense of an entity you call yourself was its projection also. If you could look at it like, for instance, in the absolute, I have one, like an aerial that you have on the radio. Or you can buy one, you see, one was broken. We went to the shop and we asked for a car radio aerial. And you can buy it, it's just this big, like this. And all of it is there. But if you hold one hand, you can pull it, you can extend it. And then you can even extend it even further. And whether it's fully contracted or fully extended, it's still the same one thing. If you say that everything is one, the totality of things is one thing, but something somehow within its totalityness, it extends itself into what you may call consciousness, the dynamic expression of itself, whereby it can have the feeling of experiencing diversity. But it is only ever one. Even though it appears to be diverse, it is still the same one. So it projects this sense of beingness, the way in which you intuitively know that you exist, the vibration in you that says, I am, I exist. Even before the words are spoken, I exist, it is there, the knowingness that you are. And from that, the second extension could be now something compels that to identify with the instrument, which is the body, which is necessary for you to taste experiencing of diversity. And that I am the body idea comes. And that is the beginning of the sense of personhood. This sense of personhood is also consciousness, but it is very limited to the identity with the body, because consciousness is more than a body. So that feeling, I am this person, I am worthy or unworthy, I am on the way to discovering, to wake up to my true nature, to discover my absoluteness, where the person is a kind of mode of consciousness, it's not the totality of consciousness. And that makes way for that game which we may call the evolutionary play from person to presence and from presence to absolute awareness. Okay, it's words, but it's expressing something. When the consciousness is in the mode of personhood, it's as though the consciousness, being formless, has painted a portrait of itself, a living portrait of itself, called a person, and then lives in the mode of personhood. And from the perspective of personhood, it is not aware of the source of itself as absolute awareness. And the journey of spirituality is the recovering of your original natural understanding. So this is very clear here. So when the people speak and they say, yes, but there's a feeling in me that I'm not deserving, I know that's just a feeling in you with a thought you're not deserving of something. And that if that thought is strongly believed in, you will somehow believe it into existence. and it will become your actual experience. This is how it works. We are perceiving what we are conceiving. But because you don't remember that you actually conceived it in that way, it may just be a handed down conception. Somebody just passed it on to you. That's the legacy we inherit from our forefathers and so on, the generation before and the very present one. That it's just passed on down, the belief that we are merely this body and the conditioning that arose for this body. And we are functioning, because it's consciousness also, we are functioning in our life like that also. And the life can seem complete in its own, in that layer of consciousness. But as you evolve, and by evolving I mean that you become more clearer to your natural state as consciousness awareness, and not just as flesh and blood and conditioning, you see, you move to a higher platform within that consciousness. And from each platform, the life is perceived in a certain way. The more refined the consciousness becomes, the more simple and harmonious your world becomes. The more you move back towards formlessness, into real just awareness by itself, then the world becomes, it's like you. It's just one. So we have the capacity, even in our human role, within you is the capacity to actually contemplate yourself into pure awareness. That's what the natural evolution is. That's where it's heading for anyone whose aspiration is not merely in phenomenality. Do we understand what I mean by this? Yeah, that the aspiration is towards beingness, the source of joy and peace and love and openness and fearlessness. That's the real evolution. Other evolution is to aspire something that is perishable. And even the one who attains the perishable itself is perishable. That's just another facet or layer of your consciousness in projection. I don't know if it makes any sense, you see. So, in a word that it feels, when we come, also it happens sometimes, we go into a guided meditation and people come and they sit and everyone is nice and brisk and alert. And I just say, be aware of the vital breath, the breathing, but don't notice that you're not breathing as an action. It is happening by itself. You're aware of this. In some people, what is that? It's like someone hit them on the head with a hammer. And then you don't see them again until, we say, the bell goes ding, and they're up. Like, what happened? Well, everyone is blissfully established in the self, and they think, did I miss something? You know, whatever. The mind can do this. From the subconscious, it can happen like this.
Mooji, I need to, because I don't often have the gift of someone sitting next to me to give me a prod.
Yeah.
Just to audibly hear it in a cold bath or something.
Yeah.
Because it's just, it is a manifestation of just going out.
Yeah.
And then coming to and thinking, oh, geez, it's happened again.
Yeah.
And,
is there something aware of the sense that it is moving away from, from perception, from clear perception? Do you have any sense, or is it very sudden?
As I'm going out?
Yes.
No.
As the consciousness, as the attention is leaving?
No, I don't.
You don't?
Mm. I know.
Is everybody here familiar with the invitation? Hmm? Have you tried reading it?
Yes, I have the book, and I've tried reading it, but as instructed, I've taken it very slowly.
Yes.
As I've been absorbing it.
At your own speed, and what happened?
And I haven't got to the end.
Actually, in the inquiry, in the invitation, what did I say also? Let's begin at the end. Why begin at the end? I want to begin in a way that if you listened to the invitation and just follow it, okay, you find yourself in your natural state without doing any practice. Normally, we feel I must practice, I must do something, I must tick it, I must do, and the mind expects if I work hard, I'll get some result. But here, you merely listen and bypass the usual noise and the struggles of cutting through the jungle of the mind and concepts. Just relax and just listen. Just leave these things for a moment. Leave all these things about the past for a moment and any idea about the future. This is what we ask. If I said, that it is possible that here today, it is possible to awaken to the natural state, meaning to who you are before you became conditioned in the mind and believe you are the present idea you take yourself to be. And it was possible to go beyond this back into your original state. I'm not saying you're going to become a baby or something. Just in your natural state, would you be up for it? Yes. Yeah, this is how it started, you see. And simply, I say, just for the duration of the time that we speak together, could I ask you that you don't mention the past? Because it's not going to be helpful. Like what you have done before, what your practice has been in the past. No, we don't need it for now. If what you wish to discover is your true nature, then please don't talk about past. Can we agree with this? Yes. And let's not talk about in the future. In the future, I want to be a yoga teacher. I want to drop. No, we don't need to hear about that. Let it just unfold. Would that be okay to say? Yes. Then I also ask, whatever idea you have of who you are, whatever concepts you hold about yourself, could we just not talk, just leave it aside for the moment, just for the short duration of this guidance? Can you do this? Yes. Then I say, leave all these things. Already, if you're able to leave that is already something very great. Just leave it. Don't kill it. Don't try to fight it. Just leave it aside, as you well can do. Leave it aside just for a short bit. And don't be expecting anything. Oh yes, wow, I'm really going to get... No. Just be empty. Just be empty. Don't even have in your mind the desire to be awakened. Just empty. 0, 0. Drop everything, all your intention, all these things, just leave them aside for a moment. We can do this or not? Yes. You, sir?
I can.
Yes. And I say, don't worry. If you leave them aside, at the end of the invitation, if you want them back, I can guarantee you they'll still be there. Because nobody's going to steal your stuff. Not this stuff, okay? So we can relax with this for a moment. Just be empty, empty, empty. Even of the concept of emptiness. Just drop everything. Don't be waiting for what's next. Just stay as you are. Empty. You're not a container for ideas or concepts. Just empty. So I had to invite you to this place where you're just not wearing any concepts or any fantasies, I'm not going to ask you to use your imagination or to visualize anything at all. Just be empty of it. So even if you feel that the mind is jumping, doesn't matter, let it jump, at least it's to the side, you're not engaged with that. You're just here. Just pay attention to how you are here. You know you exist, you know that you are. But also, there is a sort of an awareness of your existence and like a sense of being. What is it that is here that does not belong to time? It's not a story. You're just here. Even the senses you're aware of, we're not suppressing the senses, but I'm not talking about the senses or the sense objects, but just the field of awareness itself. So I had to ask you just to be like this, so I can ask you just a few simple questions about this. This that is here, is it an object? No. I would like you to just respond. You don't have to think now, because the mind you have left aside now, your habits you have left aside, memory you have left aside, your possessions you have left aside, your dreams you have left aside. You're only here. What is here? I ask you, is it an object? You say, no, it is not an object. Just stay as you are. Does it have any shape or size? No. Does it have history?
No.
Does it come with a story? Could it be captured in any way? Like, say, suppose you have the most modern, scientifically perfect camera. Could it be photographed?
No.
No. Can it suffer depression or jealousy or fear?
No.
No, just this. Stay as you are. Can it fade? Is there any boundary beyond which it is not?
No.
Did you create it?
No.
No. Does it depend on your belief to exist?
No.
Did it come from anywhere? Did it come from anywhere?
No.
No. is it possible that knowing this, being aware of this, now if you fell asleep, when you wake up, it will disappear?
No.
Can it be kept?
No.
Okay. Now I ask you this one. Was it born?
No.
Then can it die?
No.
And finally, I may ask you, where is it? How far from you is it? How to get it? Where is it? A few centimeters away? A little bit over there somewhere? Where is it? How far from you is it? Somebody, I need to hear from you. You speak. No? Okay. So, would it be fair to say, are you in it? Or if it's no distance, it must be the same as where you are. So if this is the case, then all your responses and answers are about you. All your responses can only be about you. You say that it is no distance. It's not an object. It's not an object. How can you perceive something which is not an object? It has no date of birth. It cannot fade. It doesn't depend on your belief. It was not created. Is it still true? Can it be owned by any group of people and used against other people? No. Can it become sick?
No.
Can it be lost?
No.
Can the mind exist independent or outside of it?
No.
No. How is it possible that you can know these things? How is it possible? Normally in life you are not asked questions like this. How can you answer these questions? It's not coming from your mind, because if it's come from your mind, we would probably start disagreeing with each other and putting opinion. Is this an opinion? No. Is it a fantasy?
No.
A projection?
No.
Are you in a state of hypnosis?
No.
And how would you know? So if all these things that you say are true, you are only giving evidence about your own self. Could it be like this?
Yes.
Then, if this is so, who is this other person in you?
Ego. Ghost.
Let's not go into this for a moment. let's just say, as you are, in the light of this seeing, is this a disappointing discovery?
No.
At the back? No. It's not a disappointing discovery. Is it information?
No.
No. At this point, I often say, my God, you don't realize what you have discovered. And it is fine, because the mind is still present somewhere within all of this. And it's going to come. And it is very cunning. It will say, yes, that was a nice little experience, but let's get back to reality. It may say any number of things. But from this place of what I call isness, everything that is being perceived is just a movement in this immensity of seeing. They come and go. And you will still have the sensation of expanding inside your infiniteness. What to do? Simply remain as you are. Honor it by just, don't try to figure out anything, because then you'll call your mind into play. It's not needed right now. And as much as you can, just keep listening to the invitation and confirming where you can. And by itself, effortlessly, naturally, spontaneously, intuitively, everything begins to flower in you. The depth, the maturity, the silence, the peace, the sense of universality, the openness, the falling away of fear, all of these things will begin to manifest much more clearly in you. But mind will come, and his play is to raise doubt in you. He will say, yeah, that was yesterday, but today the isness is gone. What, is that the same isness you said was eternal and everywhere present? Yesterday it was, but today it's gone. And how can it go? Is the isness, it's a word, it doesn't know itself as isness. It doesn't have a name. It's my words. I say, for want of a perfect word and not being able to find one, I say it's just what is. Yeah? Is the isness merely a feeling? Can it be created by memory?
No.
No. Can it be lost?
No.
Did you fall asleep?
I'm still standing.
Yeah.
Can I have a hug?
Yeah. Wonderful. Right.
Oh.
It's good. Good. Nice.
Thank you.
Now you listen again to the inquiry and watch when sleep is coming, if it comes.
I'll do that.
Yes. And you are here for a little bit?
For a week.
Then you'll have time to report and tell me.
And next time I'll accept the lift.
Very good. Well done. Thank you. Just to honor the promise I made that if you, by leaving your, or suspending your ideas and thoughts about yourself, and then at the end of the exercise, you can reclaim, pick them up. You are free to do that, of course. The stuff that you say, I leave aside, and, for whatever it is to you, precious or whatever, you may reclaim your stuff, and you see nobody has stolen it. Good. Okay, come.
Hello.
Hello.
Namaste.
Namaste.
I try to speak in English,
Okay. What language you speak?
Spanish.
Spanish.
But
I think
it's
we got
good.
plenty. Okay.
That's good. Only say that thank you for the invitation. In fact, for everything. For wash my eyes. Now I see clearly, more clear, and it's very beautiful. And I see how everything is unfolding. It's happening, and I not more much to say because it's mind's play. So I remain here and I watch. If it sounds high, I'm here watching and nothing more.
Even the feeling I'm here watching is not necessarily a need. Observing happens spontaneously, even without your intention. You see, the natural functioning of the vital force and consciousness happens even in the midst of your stillness. It's just happening. It's not necessary. I may point you specifically to say, just be aware of this, and you may somehow point your attention towards that thing. But watching, if you are watching, you see, then you'll find something to see. Like we say, if you put a shelf on your wall, you'll find something to put on it. So in the same way, if you're watching, you will never run out of things to see. But if you put your attention on that which manifests the capacity to see or to perceive, just be the being, then the images, even if they appear, will have no power for you, little power. You see? It's not that you have to live life closing your eyes and your ears and your senses. No, natural state. In fact, sahaja means natural state. So whatever needs to happen in your daily functioning does not stand in the way, nor is it in conflict with real seeing. Real seeing and being are one. They're not different. Seeing is not that you're seeing objects. Seeing is that you're one with the subject. But it's very easy to feel this is something I have to achieve and do. But if you only just pay attention to your natural, effortless being, without connecting this to concepts and ideas and intention, you will become naturally convinced of the completeness of yourself. Even more than conviction. You may come to see and to verify that all you're perceiving is the play and the functioning of consciousness in its dynamic aspect as life. And if this brings a great joy inside your heart, no one will need to encourage you to keep honoring what you see. Fall in love with what is true. In the same way, if you fall in love with someone, you don't need anyone else to remind you to remember your beloved. The love you have is already self-reminding. I say this because very often in the mind, it suggests many things that you need to do in order to be what you are. And you may try it out, but sometimes the very act of believing what your mind suggests you should do strengthens the sense of your separation from what you cannot not be. So lots of words, but you may listen again to this talk. It is recorded. You can listen in your own time. It is free of cost. Listen. Listen if it brings into your being a joy you cannot find in this world by simply being in contact with the object of perception. And grace is with you. And that's your most powerful friend. We are very accustomed to looking outward. It's as though the mind goes shopping through the senses for contact with sense objects. It's just a habit. And rarely we get a chance to look within. Some people say, oh, life is so tough, life is so hard, and I never can get it right, and everything is going wrong for me. I want to say just a few words about that. What you see outside is not your experience. Your experience is how you perceive it in here. And this is why I can give everybody one book and say, read it in the next week and let's meet. And everyone has a different response to the same book, same words. Nothing's changed. Because the way that you experience is not in the book, it is within you. When your mind is clear and clean, your perception is beautiful. It is simple and clear and harmonious. When the mind is poisoned by too much personhood, person poison, then your world is claustrophobic and noisy. And you have the sense that the world you're seeing is dark and full of evil. But if your heart is pure, as it will be confirmed in you, the more you look in the way that you have been guided. When you're confirmed in this place, in your true nature, you change your world. The world becomes beautiful, peaceful, and kind. Because not one single thing exists in life with one fixed meaning. The meaning in a thing is in the mind of the perceiver. It is not the thing in itself, but it is what the perceiver takes it to be that creates the experience. You imagine you're tasting and thinking it is external. And it's good to contemplate these things, because just a few powerful pointers contemplated is going to wash your world, as you ask, wash your eyes. Not just your physical eyes, but your eyes of perception. Yes. Good.
Thank you so much.
All right. I will speak with you. Thank you.
Hello, Muji.
Hello.
I just need something to like. Sorry, to like. Okay, I'll go to a question like, are we all going to make this state of like awareness eventually? I just want to hear from your mouth.
Eventually, eventually, all sentient beings will wake up. It is a question of time only. It is true, because it is already what you are. It is not something you're going to create. It's what is there already. This is why I said we are going to begin at the end, so that you will see that what you discover is not a product of your practice. Do you see why I say this now? That what you are understanding, what you are experiencing, is not a product of your practice. It is simply opening the curtains to real understanding in you. And so you cannot say, well, yeah, because when we practice to believe in this and to keep visualize, I didn't ask you to visualize anything at all, or to imagine anything at all, or to study anything at all. It is only being revealed. That is it. And for this reason, you can see, yes, it was not created. You did not create. Because if you had to create, some of you are better creators than others. And you say, I'm sorry, I was not given the gift to be creative, so I am so slow. But you are this choicelessly. It is a question of time and timing. And when you know this in your heart, when you know by experience, you may hear people say, you only live once. You only live once. But it is forever. Okay? And you are just changing rooms, changing chapters, but life is one. And even these words, if you hear them in your heart, you're already breathing the breath of the Absolute. Real knowledge kills death itself. And if you understood this not merely as belief, but as direct experience, yes, revealed through grace, so that you don't think that you are more special than anyone else. by grace and by whatever it is that you have somehow in your journey, you have become purified enough to see. So everyone must wake up at some point. It's not up to me. It's not even up to you. But you will wake up. It is only a question of time. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't want to take too many questions now because I feel that somehow what you are discovering or what you are on the verge of discovering more fully, I don't want that to be distorted by all these questions your mind may want to be asking. It's too early to ask questions about it. First, swallow your seeing, digest and assimilate it. And all the questions that your mind will produce, they will be absorbed or dissolved through your seeing, through your own light. Of course, you know, mind is waiting, you can say, as it were, for the first opportunity to distract your attention, to bring you back into the noise of personhood. You can watch him if you're vigilant, if you're earnest, if you are alert, you will notice this movement. If you are quick to identify with it, then you'll have a sense of being misled or, off center for quite some time. But if you confirm increasingly your position as the isness, the mind's apparent or seeming attacks will just get completely dissolved in you. If you pay attention, because this psychological mind cannot intimidate your true nature or true self. It can only molest or intimidate the idea you have of yourself, your self-image. You're here to discover you're much greater and more than an image. In fact, in your truth, you are imageless. The form you're wearing as a body is continuously changing. If you look back over the course of your life until now, you may find at various times in your life you can look and your features will be different. This is not the body your mother gave birth to. You see? All changes are happening to the body and to your mind and sense of personality. Which one of them is the real you? So from the perspective of the body-mind, you are more like a verb than a noun. Something is always changeful. That which is aware of the changes, but itself remains unchanging, that is your real truth. Reflect on this. So we're going to take a break now, and those of you who need to leave, you leave quietly. We have a little break of maybe half an hour where you're welcome to have some tea and like this. It's not a social break. It's a time to go to the bathroom and to take some chai. We have a section of satsangs where people who have been writing letters to myself, I take this chance to read them for the first time, looking at them and responding to that. And some people enjoy this satsang also. It's shorter, maybe for an hour or so. And if you want, you can stay and continue sharing your presence with the Sangha. If you need to go, as I say, you may take some tea and you can leave quietly. Can we have some music for now? Something? Yeah.
Music is expressing so much more than words. And yesterday there came a song through. It's very simple. And everybody could sing along. And
Yeah.
it's only 3 words.
Okay, before we do that, it is not true that music expresses more better than words. For the ones, it depends what kind of words you're speaking and what kind of music you're singing. Because the words that I have been sharing with you will take you from life to immortality, actually, if you listen. So you sing me a song like that. Okay? And you can do now if you want in front. Okay. You can come here also if you want. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste. Yeah.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you so much.
Yes, yes, yes.
Simar was life-changing
Yeah.
for me, and to meet the beautiful Sangha is such a gift.
Yes.
And to be on this sacred land and on this Sahaja is deeply inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I invite everybody to sing along. There are 3 words. And it
Okay.
means I am home.
Yeah.
I am home.
Yes,
I
okay.
am.
Yeah, yeah.
And everybody is welcome to join because it's very simple.
Ah,
It's so deep. Okay. And this is a charango. It's from the Sacred Valley in Peru.
It's called what?
Charango.
Charango. Charango. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
I love it. Very good.
Nasrumi said there's a place beyond right and wrong. And shall we meet there?
Very good. We are there. Very good. Thank you. Ah. Wonderful. Thank you. Very great. Very great. Very great. Thank you. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yes. Thank you.
I made a drawing, and I never drew a human being for 15 years or so.
Oh yes.
And so I just did something.
You did. You made a drawing. Come, let me.
I draw that. Yeah, I drew kind of.
Oh, you ready?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Can I see?
It's kind of funny.
Oh, I like it.
You know, Guruji, in Islam, like we're not supposed to draw an image.
Yeah.
So I didn't draw a human image
Yeah,
for a very long time, like 15 years or so.
I
And
see.
so yesterday we were just sitting and someone was like, "Do you want to draw?" I was like, "Yeah." And then I saw a picture of you posted in Marvelius. And I was like, "I think I want to draw Guruji, you know?" And it just, I don't know.
Thank you.
It's just so beautiful doing it.
Yes, yes.
So much light and
I like it.
thank you.
It's beautiful. It's a drawing made of dots. So it's. Should I show them or not?
It's fine. It's okay.
I just,
It's fine.
it's funny and joyful. It's just like this. To make something like this. You see? It sort of feels like me. You know?
And since I'm here, can I just ask you something? I've just noticed, like, every time I approach you in satsang, I just feel like there's just so much, like, this bright light, and I don't, like, so I thought it was just some kind of, like, fear of approaching you, but I don't know what it is. It's just, like, this
Yeah,
bright.
that would more like be a dark cloud. A bright light, I don't think it's a fearful phenomenon. No, it feels just fine.
Yeah.
Are you afraid now that you're speaking with
No,
me?
it's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Is it the one? Oh, okay. Sorry.
Come for I know you can take me higher, higher. Father, come and 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 take me higher. Come, follow me, you say. You are the only way. I'll let go of my own desire, for I know you can take me higher, higher. Father, come and 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 take me higher. Come live inside my home. You are my love alone. I am here in your holy fire, for I know you can take me higher, higher. Father, come and 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 take me higher, 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 higher,
Every time, man. Every time. Are you going to do as well too? She blew us away a few days ago. I am here again for more. You can do it? The one you did before. I like it. Yeah.
washed, when Jesus washed, when Jesus washed, He washed my sins away.
Oh, happy day.
Oh, happy day. He taught me how to watch, fight and pray, fight and pray, and live rejoicing every day, every day. Oh, happy day.
Oh, happy day.
Oh, happy day.
Oh, happy day.
When Jesus washed,
When Jesus was,
when Jesus washed,
when Jesus was,
when Jesus washed,
when Jesus was.
He washed my sins away. Oh, happy day. He taught me how to watch, fight and pray, fight and pray, and live rejoicing every day, every day. Oh, happy day.
Oh, happy day.
Oh, happy day.
Oh, happy day.
When Jesus washed,
When Jesus was,
when Jesus washed,
when Jesus was,
when Jesus washed,
when Jesus was.
He washed my sins away.
Oh, happy day.
Oh, happy day.
Oh, happy day.
He taught me how to watch, fight and pray. Oh, fight and pray, and live rejoicing every day, every day. Oh, a happy day. Oh, happy day. When Jesus washed, when Jesus washed, when Jesus washed, He washed my sins away. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. He taught me how to watch, fight and pray, fight and pray, and live in joy, sing every day, so happy day.
Full power, full power, full power. Wonderful. Thank you. Hallelujah. Praise. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Good.